Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Natasha Tosini about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey in theaters now. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, not you specifically, your characters. What did you all do to Winnie the Pooh? Like, what's going on here?
I know, it's insane.
What did you do?
I know, right? Literally. Oh, so many people have said, like, I feel like so many people have had like mixed emotions. It's kind of like Marmite. Like, so many people loving it, but then also so many people are hating it. You know?
It gets kind of like you make this film, it gets thrown out into the world, and it's kind of out of your hands. You just kind of like...
Literally, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and I find it interesting because this is like your first feature film. You did some shorts and everything. So when you worked on this, was the mindset a little bit of everything I'm going to say right now, where it was just kind of you were excited about the opportunity, you were excited to be in like a horror feature film, you were also excited to learn things? Was it a lot of that, like everything I just mentioned, basically?
It was. I feel like it was all of that. It was so. It was not what I expected at all to like be in a feature. Obviously, like you said, I'd never done a feature before, so I'd done like a couple of shorts, a few music videos and stuff. I'd never done anything that was like a feature, let alone a feature that's obviously worldwide, gone viral, crazy, insane. I've done features since then, and I feel like now I'm just so used to it. It doesn't feel any different than it was then. But as my first one, I feel like I did come into it like, what's going on?
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. When did you film this movie? Like what year?
2022.
Okay, so
pretty sure.
I remember the announcement of this even before trailers. Like it was announced there was going to be a Winnie the Pooh horror film. It was the talk of the town. Like people couldn't stop talking about it and everything. And now it's out and people are going to be able to see it. And the trailer was out and I feel like it's nonstop. What's it like being part of a project where it's been kind of like, you know, there's kind of the waves, right? Where it kind of comes out. It hasn't really been calming down. Like everyone's mentioning this movie all the time.
Yeah.
Like, are you getting used to it a little bit?
Well, it's crazy. Honestly, I don't know. Like at first, obviously it was mentioned, and the photo that went viral was actually the photo of me in the hot tub with like Winnie and Piglet behind me. I don't know if you know the photo I'm referring to.
Of course.
And obviously because it was that photo that went viral, somehow people started finding me, and I must have gained like 5,000 followers in like a week. It since then it's literally not stopped, and I feel like a lot of people have said to me like, how does it feel like, what does it feel like? Because obviously before nobody knew who I was, and now like people recognize me in the street. People will come up to me like literally shaking, like
you're getting recognized. You're getting recognized in the street from this movie.
Literally, yeah. I literally get recognized in the street. People come up to me like, "Oh my god, can I get a photo?" And they're shaking, and like I'll like.
They're like, "Oh my god, you're all mean to Winnie the Pooh."
Honestly, people will come up to me, and I'm just like, and I think, why do they want a photo with me anyway? Like, I just literally feel like me, but people know who I am, and for some reason they want to take a photo with me. That's how it feels.
Are you starting to kind of realize the impact of? I mean, it's the Winnie the Pooh component. It's its whole thing, right? It was like it's a whole different thing, right? But if we focus on the horror component of it, like horror movies, like now you're realizing like it is like one of the biggest genres out there right now. Like it's pretty crazy impact-wise.
Exactly. I had no idea about obviously it was my first feature, and typically I will watch, I'm a bit of a sucker for like romance comedies and like, you know, like films that make you cry a little bit, but it's happy crying. And like my favorite film ever is The Notebook.
Yeah.
So that says a lot. Like those are the type of films that I like to watch and I indulge in. And like whenever there's a good horror movie that comes out, I'll watch it, but like this, like literally I'll go to the cinema and I'll watch it like this, because I'm so scared and I'm like petrified. And I never knew that there was such a big audience for horror until I did this sort of thing. And obviously I went to the the premiere in Mexico.
Yep.
And there was so many people there. It was insane. Every single person, like I would literally walk the streets in Mexico and people were taking photos with me, asking me to sign things, giving me gifts. And I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's super crazy. I do have 2 questions about kind of the making of this movie. The first question I have is there any specific filming story you have? Because I feel like I feel like there's a lot kind of that could have happened, maybe like, because there was a lot of night shoots in this movie, I'm assuming, right? Based on
yeah.
And that's when everything's funny, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think because you're overtired as well. So honestly, everything's just a laugh, isn't it?
Do you have any funny stories on top of your head about on set that you could share? Like anything funny happen or anything cool specifically?
So a lot of the scenes, I feel like a lot of the scenes that we did, obviously once it blew up, they were changed and a lot of scenes were cut and different scenes were put in and stuff. But originally, a lot of the scenes I did, I actually improvised like funny stuff because there were some bits that were like, just like they wanted the lines there, but then they were like improvised stuff as well. Yeah. And there was a lot of moments where I'd say something and everyone would laugh, like crew, everyone would laugh, and then they'd have to cut, and then they'd say, "Do that again," and it was like, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." But that's because I like comedies. Like I feel like I'm just a funny person who can improvise funny stuff. You know what I mean? I'd say the one thing. There's a few funny things that stands out to me, and one of them is the fact that I knew Winnie the Pooh because he come without his mask on, Craig.
Yeah.
And I spoke to him and I was like, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Natasha. I play Laura." And he was like, "I play Winnie." And I was like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." And we got chatting and he was so lovely and he was so nice. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not scared anymore because I'm a bit of a wimp." And then he put his mask on. We had a chat and I was like, "Oh, fear gone." But Piglet had like something else in the day. His name's Chris. And he arrived and I was like getting ready to shoot and stuff. So I'd not actually met him. So the first time I'd actually like spoken to him was when I was filming a scene and he came over with his mask on. Yeah. And I swear to God, I was actually scared. Like I was actually scared because he came over with his like Piglet mask on and he was like snorting like, and I was like, I remember literally thinking panic. Like, you know, when you're scared of something, but it's irrational, like you're scared of spiders, but you know, they can't hurt you. It was something like that. Like I was actually
I'm still scared of spiders, even that's why I can't go to Australia because I interview a lot of people on the show from Australia. I can't go. And I can't also go because they say that the small ones are the ones that got to look out for. The small ones are the poisonous ones. Yes. We're not going to talk about this anymore. It's scary. But
no.
That's really interesting. Okay. This is going to be a bit of a tricky one to answer because you have to think about it, okay? Because maybe what people love and crave like fun facts about movies. Oh, I didn't know this. You know what I mean? Like everyone's doing all their research about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey and everything. Is there something about the movie that you can share here on Popternative that people might not know about or have no idea about? Whether about the characters or the original script or the filming. Is there anything specifically you can share, like fun fact-wise, where it's like, well, I had no idea?
Ooh.
You can think about it a little bit because I'm sure it's a big question, but like I
think I have a few, but I don't know if they've already been shared or not. I don't know if they're fun facts
this
or not.
movie is like the fans are on the ball, right? Like they're actually like posting a lot of stuff.
Honestly, like the fans know more than I do. Like I go online and I'm like, really?
It's crazy. Okay, but share them regardless. Let's see.
Okay. So the number one fact is that the actor, so I don't know if you've seen it, the film.
Mm-hmm.
So in the film, obviously the female lead, Maria, played by Maria, she's like laying in bed and a creepy man comes in and he's like stalking her. The man who comes in is actually the guy who plays Piglet.
Chris?
So that's the same. Yeah, Chris. They're the same. He plays Piglet. I don't know if you already knew that. I'm assuming everyone knew that already.
I feel like people I feel like
okay.
Next.
Was that a bad one?
No. I'm just because Because you were thinking about it while you were saying, you're like, oh, I bet people already know that.
Yeah, like as I was saying, I was like, everyone knows.
Is there anything about the filming of it? Anything about the location? Anything about the script?
So with the filming, the actual filming was near the real 100 Acre Woods.
Okay.
They filmed it near the actual 100 Acre Woods.
I'm wondering if people actually knew that too.
I don't know, maybe. That's another fact.
Well, you know what? I didn't know that, so that counts. I didn't know that.
Good.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Props to me.
That's really cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
When did you? So did you know about that ahead of time, like when you booked it?
I didn't know about that before. I'm pretty sure I found out on the first day of filming.
Okay.
Because I pulled up and they were like, "Oh, nearby is the real 100 Acre Woods," and I was like, "Really?" And I thought they were having me on, but it turned out to be true.
What did you audition for the character you got in the movie?
I don't think I auditioned for Lara, but I think that's because when I think it was either on like Star Now or it was on some sort of acting thing, and the list of actresses, like the list of characters that I could apply for, I don't think the character I got was actually on there.
So did you go for like an open call?
So it was on like an app or whatever, and I applied for a certain character. I got a self-tape audition through, and then they messaged me back and was like, "Hey, we want you to be in this, but we want you to be this character. Is that okay?" And sent me the script, and I was like, "Oh, do you know what?" Because the character I applied for was nothing like me, and I think I just wanted to like.
Who was it?
I can't remember who it was. It was either like Jess or Maria.
Okay.
Because it was more of a like shy and reserved and kind of like, it was like the opposite to me in real life. Okay. But I think I applied for that sort of role because I wanted to showcase that I'm not just me and I can do other things and stuff. But when they sent me the script and I read the script and read my character, I was like, oh, do you know what? Actually, I might as well just be playing myself on the film, you know, like it just sounds like me. So I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Obviously I didn't know it was going to go viral at the time. But I was interested in it nonetheless, like the rest of the world, you know, when you hear it, you're like, wow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So this is like my favorite thing about our channel because we interview a lot of people like yourself that are in some amazing projects and everything. And we just love to get, because people love hearing about like how, like you're in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, right? People like to hear about like how it was made and like what it is. Like people love that stuff, right? That's why people love interviews. So you definitely
for the little behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, people love the behind the scenes. Let's be honest. It's so great. And Natasha, I wanted to thank you very much for coming on Popternative. It was great chatting with you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Very quickly before we wrap up, your Instagram account, is it just your name? If people want to keep up to date with everything, is it just?
Yeah, it's just Natasha Tosini. No gaps, no dots.
Okay, no, I had to do the plug quickly. You're like, have a great day. You were shutting up. And then people need to go. The movie's in theaters too, so Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, they can check it. That was like the quickest, like, bye.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry. No, I thought you were going, so I was like, oh, okay, goodbye then.
No, you do. All good. It's great. Oh my God. This has been Popternative. You do not call us on Popternative for previous episodes. You can catch, of course, Natasha Tosini in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey in theaters now. Until next time, this is Natasha and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.